Selecting a hotel for your Disneyland trip can seem both incredibly simple and also extremely aggravating at the same time. So let's talk about some of the things that you ought to look for when you're choosing a hotel that's perfect for you and your family for this trip. Now, before we get started, make sure again that you like and subscribe to get our videos in the future, and share this with anyone else who's planning a Disneyland trip so that they can make sure they're thinking through these same things as well. For me, when I am looking at hotels to choose from, I'm looking for mostly these three criteria. Number one, the price range. Number two, transportation. And number three, amenities. So let me talk about what I mean by those. For price range, normally when you're booking a hotel, you have that ideal price set in mind. I find that when I'm trying to book for Anaheim, you have to have instead a upper level to your budget, like the maximum you're willing to spend per night. Because sometimes around Disneyland, the hotels might be really well priced, and sometimes they're going to really jack up those prices. So if you look instead at what the maximum is that you're willing to spend per night, it can expand your options so you don't feel like you're getting stuck with just the only one that was at your ideal price point instead. For transportation, you could also think of this as like location, 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 but instead it's how are you willing to get to the parks? Because you really have three major options: either walking, a shuttle, or driving. So let's talk about walking. That's the only one of those options that's free, because obviously if you can walk to the parks, that's the easiest thing in the world and you don't have to pay a dime to do it. Now the hotels that you can walk from, these are the ones that are going to be either the Disneyland Resort hotels, those hotels that are across from Disneyland on Harbor Boulevard, or we're even willing to walk from the hotels that are near the Anaheim Convention Center. These hotels will also up the price a little bit more because they know that they're in that really sought after locale. But the extra money could be worth it when you can get to the parks whenever you want and you can leave and be at your hotel really quickly. So it can be beneficial if that's what you want to do. Another option that you have is the shuttle. The shuttle that some of these hotels utilize is called the Anaheim Resort Transit, or ART buses. Not every hotel offers it, but most do in the Anaheim area. You can look on their website and they will tell you if they offer it. These shuttles are not free. Every person in your party must have a pre-purchased ticket for the ART buses for every day that you're planning on using them. But they will just take you from your hotel to the Disneyland East Gate and back. So it can be handy. If you don't have a particularly large family, you might end up spending less on the shuttle than you would driving, potentially. And again, not every hotel offers this, but if you are willing to do the shuttle instead of walking, this expands a little bit more of the hotels that you can choose from. You can go a little bit more north or south on Harbor. You can look on Catella Avenue, just south of Disneyland, or you can look in the area called the Anaheim Main Gate, which is just north of the Disneyland Resort, but it's not in walking distance. These hotels, yeah, you cannot walk from there, but the shuttle usually hits these ones, and so it adds a few more options for you. Now, if you're willing to drive, then really the world is your oyster. You don't even have to stay in the Anaheim area. You can stay somewhere else and drive into the parks. You just have to be aware that you're gonna have to pay for parking. There are three major places that you can park and get to Disneyland pretty easily. A lot of the locals like to park at the Anaheim Garden Walk. This is a shopping center that's located just about half a block east of the Disneyland Resort. It's a smaller structure. It's not dedicated to Disneyland only, so it can get filled up pretty quickly. And you do have to still walk a ways from the Garden Walk to the gates, but you might be able to save some money on parking. So that's one option. If you're willing to park on property, then you have the Mickey and Friends parking structures and Pixar Pal parking structure, which are both in the northwest corner of the Disneyland Resort. From there you can go through security on the bottom level of the parking structure and then normally take a tram to Disneyland and it'll drop you off right next to the Esplanade. Because of COVID right now, there's no tram, but you can still walk directly to the Esplanade from there. Otherwise, you can park at the Toy Story parking lot, which is not connected to the parks. It's actually on a block just southeast. But you still go through security there, and then Disneyland offers free shuttles that will take you from that parking lot to the East Gate, and then you just walk directly into the Esplanade. The last thing you need to consider are the amenities, and namely Are you paying for amenities that work for you or that you will actually use? The hotels always boast this big long list of amenities, but look through it. Are you actually using them? Does your family even plan on coming back to the hotel in the middle of the day and using the pool? If not, why are you paying extra for a really, really nice pool area if you're never going to use it? Those sorts of things. Also, if you're thinking, let's drive, does the hotel make you pay for parking at the hotel, or does it offer free parking for hotel guests? Something to look into. Take all three of these things together and look at the budget, see how it changes things. Because maybe a hotel that is a little bit more expensive but within walking distance may cost you less than a hotel that's further away, requires you to drive, but has a lower per night rate. Maybe. But also, maybe there's a hotel that's going to cost you $5 or $10 more per night, but works better for your family than the other hotels. If you want to save a little bit more money on your hotel, a lot of these hotels in the Anaheim area are called Disneyland Good Neighbor Hotels, which means that they actually are authorized to sell tickets or ticket packages. So look on their website. Maybe they're actually offering some deals if you book a room and tickets together. Otherwise, you could check those vacation planning sites like Expedia for good deals on hotels and transportation. Or you can go through like a travel agency, which they can give you a lot of personalized help. We have a preferred travel agency, Getaway Today, which we have a link to them always in our description so you can check them out. But these guys, they always have tickets available for less money and can save you a lot when you book packages as a whole. And with these travel agencies like Getaway Today, a lot of the agents have actually stayed at these hotels personally, so they can answer your hotel questions really personally as they've been there. They know for a fact. For other information on some of the hotels in the area, we have a list of hotels that we've stayed at and reviewed, and you can check that out. I'll put the link in the description as well. But otherwise, good luck out there. Try to find that hotel that works for you. If you have any other questions or comments or suggestions for future videos, put those in the comment section below. And we will see you guys next week. All right, bye.